Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to day 16, episode 16 of albums that are 50 years old in 2022 as we look back on the wonderful year of music that was 1972. Today, a really special one. And just to backtrack a little bit, I've been seeing all sorts of people in the comments each and every day. It's like, Pete, I can't believe you haven't mentioned this album yet. I know you love this band, and I know you love this album. How come you haven't mentioned it? Well, guys, I think I've said it at least a half a dozen times so far. I'm going to save my absolute favorites for the second half of this month, right? So I'm starting off. I love all these albums. Every one that I'm mentioning this month I love, but you always have your absolute favorites. So it's like kind of from this point on, everything that's coming is really special to me. Really special. And the ones that are saved for the last couple of days, the last week of the month, yeah, those are, to me, my drop dead classics, right? So fear not, fret not. We still have plenty of time left in the month. So a lot of the ones that are your favorites that you've expected me to talk about, they probably are coming. So please be patient. Please be patient. Patience is a virtue. So today, and yet today, this is no exception. I absolutely love this band. I absolutely love this album. This is one of those bands that I think the older I get, the more I love these guys. And their music is just, I always liked these guys. But when I was younger, I was into much heavier music for the most part, and I always kind of dug them, but I didn't appreciate them as much as I do now. And man, every year that goes by, I just find that I love the music of Steely Dan more and more. Can't Buy a Thrill, November 1972, produced by Gary Katz for the ABC label. The debut. This is just fantastic stuff, as all of these 70s albums from Steely Dan are. Here, the band still in their formative stage, but still cranking out a classic album. All right, we've got David Palmer, who's with the band early on, lead vocals on Dirty Work in Brooklyn, backing vocals on the rest of the album. You got Donald Fagen, of course, the mainstay, founder of the band, acoustic electric pianos, organ, lead vocals on a couple tracks, backing vocals. Jeff Skunk Baxter on guitars, pedal steel guitar, little spoken word vocals on here. Denny Diaz on guitar, electric sitar. Walter Becker on bass and backing vocals. This is before Walter would move over mainly to guitar. And Jim Hodder on drums and lead vocal on Midnight Cruiser. We've also got Elliot Randall, who shows up first, not a member of the band, but shows up for some lead guitar, of course, on Kings and Reelin' in the Years, known as one of the great guitar solos of all time. Jerome Richardson on tenor sax, Snooky Young on flugelhorn, Victor Feldman on percussion, and Vanetta Fields, Clyde King, and Shirley Matthews on backing vocals on 2 tracks. So, excuse me, boy, oh boy. 1 second. That's always the one thing of doing these really early in the morning, especially someone like me who has postnasal drip. You get this thing every morning. It's just what it is, right? So for those of you who always wonder, why is Pete always clearing his voice like all the time? Well, because I get up really early to do these videos for you guys, and I unfortunately have this thing, right? It is what it is. I try not to make it too obvious. Anyway, some classic tracks on this album. Couple hit singles, right? I mean, this band kind of busted out of the gate with a pretty notable album that caught on with the public. "Do It Again" was a single, great song. Back, Jack, do it again. I mean, I love the fact that this band is able to kind of blend like pop music and jazz and blues and like little bits of Latin and all sorts of other elements and rock into this just really sophisticated, fun sound. Like, I mean, a band like no other. I mean, there really has never been a band that sounded like Steely Dan, ever. And, Donald Fagen's voice, very unique voice. I think the arranging, the songwriting, the kind of, all the different great musicians that have been in this band. Just really, really cool stuff. Dirty Work. I'm a fool to do your dirty work. Oh, yeah. Another hit song for the band. All right. Kings, the Magnificent Kings. What a great song. It's kind of jazzy, kind of bluesy, but so memorable, so hook-laden. Midnight Cruiser with a lead vocal from Mr. Hodder. I love Midnight Cruiser. Man, just a good pop rock song, right? Only a Fool Would Say That. Another really good, quirky, fun pop song. And then, of course, the big rocker on the album, Reelin' in the Years, with that. But, it doesn't rock too hard. it's got a great pop hook. It's got little jazzy bits. It's got that tremendous guitar solo from Elliott. Great song. Fire in the Hole. Another really, really great, memorable track. You got Brooklyn. Owes the Charmer Under Me. Change of the Guard. Oh, I love Change of the Guard. It's just so good, and memorable. And that chorus. Just really intelligent music. I always have a hard time explaining Steely Dan, but great stuff. And then Turn That Heartbeat Over Again is the final track on the album. Another really good one. I mean, you got some, like I said, you got some Latin things going on. One or two of these, only a fool would say that. Just great stuff on this whole album. They would go on to do, later in the decade, they would turn to much more jazzy and poppy type stuff and leave some of the rock and bluesy elements a little bit behind. But for at least a couple albums, you kind of had this kind of amalgam of all these mixes of styles. But yeah, this is this debut is probably their more, I don't want to say rockin' because they do have plenty of rockin' stuff, but this is definitely the least, I think, jazzy album in their catalog, but it's still amazing. Definitely great. Can't Buy a Thrill. Steely Dan. Great stuff. Do we have a picture of the guys in the band? I don't remember. Let's see. Yeah, we do. Small one. There they are. All right. Yeah, there you have it. So in the comments below, please let us know how you feel about Can't Buy a Thrill, as well as list your pick for today, day 16, here on albums that are 50 years old in 2022. Thanks for watching. Visit us on the web at www.seaoftranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time, celebrating 1972 this month up until the 31st. At the end of the month, you'll also get a bonus video that I will list some of my favorite honorable mentions, right? So these are albums that I love. Again, I'm not going to mention every single album that I really like from 72 because that would take all day, but I'm going to list probably another 20 or so that didn't quite make the cut. I know when we did 1971, what I did was I gave you a runner-up each day, but I'm going to save them all for the end because I want to just kind of talk about all of them. So you'll get a bonus episode on the 31st that'll have all my honorable mentions of albums that I really like a lot, but they're not quite that top 31, right? So thanks for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell. We've got the link below to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, as well as our merch page, right, where you can get all sorts of cool Sea Tranquility stuff. So thanks for watching. I am Pete Pardo. We'll see you later on with album homework assignment. Take care. Bye-bye.